It's been a while since my last little video, and I'm sure all one of you were just wondering, when can we expect the next one? Sorry, I've had a lot going on in the last few months. I deal with pretty awful depression. Between that and being old and hormonal. And then also, since we last met, my mom broke her hip, had to have a replacement, rehab, all that, which was very, very difficult because she's extremely active. She has ranch, she has garden, she has horses, all of these things, huge, big, sprawling house. And she wasn't allowed to do anything, and I'm really not sure who that was more difficult for, me or her. Because she was, oof, she's a pistol. And then about 2 weeks after that surgery, well, then she was having some issues. Come to find out, she had a blood clot in her leg and in her lung. Awesome. And then the following, no, 2 weeks later, on my birthday no less, we found out that my mother-in-law had been rushed to the hospital by ambulance the night before because she had stroke, seizure, all kinds of great things. And actually the day before was my husband's birthday, so it actually happened on his birthday. Little did we know. Reason why we didn't know, she lives in senior living apartments. No one under 62 can live there. It's all independent living. They all do their own things, whatever. Well, the front office was closed, and the social worker who's there to kind of help them keep all their doctor's appointments together, make sure they're getting all their services they need and whatnot, she was already gone for the day. And so no one knew how to get in touch with us. And it wasn't until the next morning when her home health provider showed up for work and saw literally front door wide open, her little key still hanging up on its hook, and she wasn't there. Her provider was like, something's not right here. She was in the hospital for 7 full days, in and out of ICU while she was there. She coded once. Then we had to get her admitted to a nursing home for rehab, which, sad to say, my husband and I don't believe it's going to be a temporary thing. We know for sure that she'll never be able to live independently again. Issues won't. We're very, very blessed that she just happened to be talking to neighbors through her window when this happened. If she'd been sitting there watching TV in the kitchen, making lunch or whatever, there's no telling how bad it could have been. Anyway, so, and also in all of that, found out that it wasn't just my imagination and that my scale wasn't just wrong. I have, yes, in fact, gained almost 40 pounds in the last 6 months, which, if you go back and look at some of my earlier videos, you can see it in my face, for sure. I'm definitely not showing you from here, no. That was another thing, I'm kind of embarrassed about that. It sucks. My A1C and my blood sugar are out of whack. My liver enzymes are out of whack. My doctor's not all that concerned. Oh, and my vitamin D's low again. So I think I'm going to be finding a new doctor pretty soon as well. If my face is a little bit shiny, I'm sorry. I just got done doing a salicylic acid face peel, and then I had to put the argan oil on afterwards. One of the things I was been wanting to share with you guys, and instead of making a separate video, since I don't know how long it's gonna be, just do it all at once. Baby face 30% salicylic acid peel, Amazon. I think I spent 14 bucks on it. If you've never had one before, and there's instructions, and then you can also watch videos and look up, Google it. You've never had one before, start off slow, build your way up, because it can be very, very harsh on your face. But me dealing with the rosacea and getting old and hormonal, and I've done it before. I've had them done periodically over the years. Then once you do that, and after you neutralize it with baking soda and water, they recommend that you put oil. I use pure argan oil. This is what the box looks like. It's by Timeless Skincare. Also got it on Amazon. I think I spent $12 on it. It is pure organic, cold pressed. No extra junk in it. It's argan oil. And it's really good. Okay, so moving right along, and I'm trying to get through this one so I don't end up with an hour-long video, and then also because it's like going to the bathroom or using the phone. Nobody cares about my existence until I'm doing one of those two things or making a video. So I'm trying to get through that while my family is gone. Okay, so a couple of things. Some things that people don't tell you about getting old or hitting menopause or getting fat. Besides the aging and the hormonal thing, products that used to work for you, we've talked about this with the makeup thing, products that used to work for you may not work anymore. And then also though, throw that in with depression, and sometimes personal care isn't real high on your priority list. It's just not. So any number of those things can affect personal care, whether it's aging and getting to that not giving a shit stage, hormonal, and it seems like no matter what you do, nothing works, depression, and also just not giving a shit, getting fat, and needing to redo your routine and changing things around. So, okay, up until about a year ago, I was an avid stick deodorant user. And I've been using it for years. I would use the clear sticks, the gel sticks, whatever. And then it just seemed like they weren't working out very well for me anymore. And they were staining my clothes, and just not really caring for that. And I kept thinking, I was trying different brands, different styles. I will say the Dry Idea gel stick was the best out of all of them that I could find, but it's really wet. And even when I would use my hairdryer on the cool setting to kind of dry it out a little bit before I got dressed, it still, Anyway, so about I know at least 8 to 10 months ago, girls that I work with, and I say girls because they were all under 25 at the time, and I'm literally old enough to be their mom, we're talking about spray deodorant, and I was like, I totally forgot spray deodorant was even a thing. I mean, really, and then I thought back, and I was like, I used to use that in junior high. What happened? Why? And then I remembered why I quit using it, because the smell and the cloud, and but that's been many years ago, and I thought maybe things have changed. So I started off with the Suave 24-hour protection spray. It was okay, but I don't know. There was just something about it. I was like, let me experiment here. Try what else. Then I bought the Dove dry spray. That's why, because the Suave was too wet. Anyway, dry spray, and I was like, oh, I like Dove products. This is a dry spray. It smells good. 48-hour antiperspirant. Because if there's anybody out there that's going to try to say that they have never once in their lives gone full 48 hours without taking a shower, is either lying, has no children, or has like all the free time in the world and has no other responsibilities. Because sometimes when you're working and you got kids to take care of and you got a million things to do and the depression ever kicks in, Sorry, no, I'm not buying it. Anyway, it it goes on fairly dry. It does leave your skin feeling soft. However, they lied about that 48 hours because I couldn't even get through a day at work. And I have an office job. I work in a doctor's office. 2/3 of my day I'm sitting at a desk. It's not like I'm out doing road work, heavy construction, anything like that. And before the day would even be over, I'd be like, what's it? Oh, that's me. That's not good, y'all. And I was kind of stuck with it for a little while because I am unfortunately utilitarian as well as a cheapskate. And I bought this at Sam's. There were 3 in a box for like $7.50, something like that. So, and if you bought it individually at the store, even at Walmart, you were paying close to $5 for it. So I was like, okay, fine, let me use it up. Then, when I was at Dollar General one day looking for something else, I came across roll-on deodorant. I was like, roll-on, what? Forgot roll-on was ever even a thing too. And I used to really like roll-on, and I think I quit wearing it because they had started making stick deodorant where it didn't leave streaks, and you know, it was okay. And back then, roll-on deodorant, like say if you left it in your car by accident, you'd come out and your whole car would be smelling like the deodorant because it would tend to like leak out. It didn't matter if it's sitting straight up, but heaven forbid if it fell to the side, oh my gosh, and then it would be everywhere and it would be a mess. And at the time, I pretty much lived out of my car. You know, I was on the go all the time. So, forgot it was a thing. They had the Suave 24-hour protection powder scent. Because again, I like Suave products because they're usually pretty good and they're cheap. It smells good. It's fairly effective, but it's very wet. There's the size, and just to kind of give you a comparison of how large it is, there's like a standard lipstick tube, so give you an idea. So you could cover a good half of your armpit with one swipe. And so, you know, you don't use a whole lot of it, but even not using a whole lot of it, it's still very wet. And so it would leave streaks. It wouldn't go on very sheer, like at the, you know, the edges of the ball. Center was fine. These edges, though, you would have like these milky white lines going down. And so, yes, definitely had to break out the hair dryer for that. And so then I thought, well, let me see what else I can find. Maybe I'll save that for like when I go to the gym, whatever. Yeah, believe it or not, in the last 6 months that I've gained this almost 40 pounds, that has been with changing eating habits, with Phenermine, with going to the gym. Okay, maybe not as much as I should, but definitely a hell of a lot more than I used to. But yet my doctor still isn't all that concerned about my labs, whatever. So anyway, then I went to Dry Idea, Advanced Dry, 72-hour odor protection, roll-on antiperspirant and deodorant, because believe it or not, those are 2 different things. Not trying to talk to y'all like y'all are dumb, but I understand that there are some folks out there that don't know things, and they don't know the same things that I do, but they are 2 separate things. Anyway, and it's unscented. Forgot that unscented translates to stinks. It's just not, it's not that great. I mean, I've smelled worse, but anyway, the Advanced Dry, now I can attest to the Advanced Dry part because I would go get my swipes on, and then I'd be like, is there anything there? So I put a little more on, thinking, okay, maybe it hadn't gotten enough on the roller, and do some more, and it's like, is there? And I swipe, and oh yeah, there it is. Okay, it's but it's very, very dry, very, I mean, gone. But They also lie about 72-hour protection. It fails me a lot. But I can't bring myself to throw it away. Anyway, so then while I was doing some online shopping, because I prefer online shopping because I don't like peopling a whole lot, and there are lots of people at the grocery store. I came across this Odorono, and it's bamboo scent. This is a 2.5 ounce bottle, and I think I paid just under $3 for it. Can't remember. One thing about it, you can see it's a little less than half the size the rollerball that is on the Suave and the Dry Idea. I know I didn't show you that, but the Dry Idea is the same size. But it's bamboo scent, and I have discovered over the last several months that I like bamboo scent. I like this. I have a Febreze spray that's bamboo scent. Some of my wallflowers that I've gotten from Bath and Body Works have bamboo scent in them, and it's like, that's pretty good. Not overpowering, but you can smell it, and you're like, that smells nice, without going, again, I'm funny about smells. And so, anyway, okay, I'm just realizing for the first time that, everything but the warnings are in Spanish. The warnings, thankfully, are the only things on here in English. And, but it is 24-hour protection, and I can say that with all confidence because I know enough Spanish to know that 24 horas de protección is 24 hours of protection. And, oh, it's made in Puerto Rico. I didn't know that. And, oh, man, y'all, the crap Puerto Rico's been going through lately, and it's awful down there. Yes, in the cities, like San Juan, things are getting better, but in the more rural, outlying communities, their roads are non-existent still. Gasoline is still a very precious commodity there. So many people don't have electricity, water. Thanks, Maria. But that's a whole nother situation. But that does make me wonder, in a slightly selfish way, of if I'm going to be able to get any more of this, because that's just the way life works. I find a product I really like. By the time I get done using it, you can't find it anywhere anymore. Anyway, so out of all of the deodorants, stick, spray, roll-on, I have found that the roll-on does tend to work better, doesn't stain my clothes. Not a fan of the Dry Idea, doesn't last all day. Suave lasts all day, but it's very, very wet and a little leaky. The Odorono lasts, smells good, not very leaky. That's okay. And in a pinch, the Suave is still okay because, again, hairdryer, cool setting, you're good. So the next thing that I want to talk about, that also goes in with getting old and hormonal and being a working mom with kids. I guess you have to have kids to be a mom, but I mean kids at home still. Having a million things to do and dealing with depression. So, this is a twofer, age and depression. Woohoo! Sometimes, unfortunately, personal care isn't at the top of your list, like I've said. So dry shampoo is another good friend. Now, for me, dry shampoo comes into play not just because of, sometimes I am pressed for time and I don't have time to wash and do everything with my hair. I'm good if I can get in the shower. It also comes into play with my age because hormones are changing my whole body makeup, everything, including my hair, and my hair was already very fine and thin, but now it's thinning, which is different. And so it just, sorry, I'm thinking about all of these changes sometimes every now and then kind of really gets to me. Now, another thing though is I do only wash my hair about twice a week because I discovered at a very young age. I used to wash my hair every day, which I've also since found out isn't necessarily good for you either, and not good for your hair follicles and all of that. But I worked in fast food, and you know, being back there with the fryers and all the grease in the air, and my hair being so thin and so fine, it would just suck it all right up. And so by the end of the shift, my hair would look like I hadn't washed my hair in 3 weeks. Very icky. Anyway, and so I wish we had dry shampoo back then, but I did find out that baby powder would work when necessary. So, anyway, when I would wash my hair, big clumps would come out. Okay. I was worried that if I kept doing that, that I would be bald by the time I was 25. And so then I started washing it twice a week, and I wasn't working in the fast food anymore. I was working at a grocery store, and so it wasn't quite, you know, the same environment. I would still get hot and everything, but at least I wasn't surrounded by grease and whatnot. So anyway, I went to washing my hair twice a week, and I discovered that the same amount of hair came out each time when I washed it twice a week as it did each time when I washed it 7 times a week. So my thought process was, if I'm losing the same amount of hair, now you would have thought that only twice a week maybe the clumps would have been bigger. No, that wasn't the case. Clumps were the same size. So I'm like, I can lose 7 times the hair or just 2 times the hair. Now, I'm no genius, but it made sense to me. So I've been doing that pretty much ever since. Although there was a period of time back in like 02 to 04 that I went through a really horrible period and my depression was disgusting to me, but it was just, sometimes you can't determine what's going to affect you, the ways that it affects you, and the fact that I let this affect me in that way, you know, what I was going through at the time. Looking back now, it's just, but what are you gonna do? And so yeah, there were times I would go a long time without washing my hair. I would do good to, you know, take a little, you know, my aunts used to call them hoe baths, where you just, or, you know, like George Carlin would say, hey, just, you know, what was it? Teeth, pits, what was it? Teeth, pits, ass, balls, and feet, or something like that. I don't know, I'm gonna have to go back. And look, and sorry about that interruption in my phone. But George Carlin was a genius. He just was. And so anyway, dry shampoo. Okay, so when I started dry shampoo, at the time, a couple of years ago, I guess it's been about 5 years ago now, the only brand that I could find around here was Tresemme. I think at the time it was like $3.25 a can, and it was good. It was fine. But then by the time I went through like my second or third can, dry shampoo was everywhere, and everybody was making it. So, you know, I was like, okay, let's see what else is out there. Suave was making some, their professional line, and you know me, like Suave because it's cheap, but they have good products too. But you know, I'm gonna pay less for something if I can and get the same results. So I tried that, but there was something about the smell that I didn't care for, and it got to where when I would use it, and I used it for quite a while because it was cheaper than all the other brands. I would have to go outside and spray it because I could not stand to be trapped in the house with it. And finally, after a little, I was like, you know, this is ridiculous. went back to, I was going to go back to Tresemme, but they went up to like almost $5 a can, and I just couldn't make myself do that. And so anyway, I just quit with dry shampoo altogether for a while. But then started buying it again. Went back to the Suave because it was still cheaper, and then finally I was like, no, even if I am saving money, I can't keep doing this. So I think I've mentioned this on here before. I got the Aussie Total Miracle Dry Shampoo. 7 miraculous benefits in every bottle. This dry shampoo does it all with the first day clean look, freshness boost, lightweight fullness, color protection, refreshed feel, matte finish, and awesome scent. Now, I will say that the matte finish, they are spot on about that. But when hair is clean, it should not be matte. Like when you wash your hair and you get out of the shower and you dry it, whether you let it air dry or use a blow dryer, it's got a sheen to it. It's not matte. And and it says it's got the first day clean look. That's not what hair looks like when it's first day clean. So, and I do question the awesome scent because, it was okay. I wouldn't say awesome. But the thing that I really didn't care for about it, I hated the way it made my hair feel. Made my hair itself feel very, very old. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was very dry, not like a brittle feeling, but dusty. I don't know how to explain it. But then not only that, but I'm a finger runner, which probably also has to do a lot with the oil buildup. Anyway, when I would run my fingers through my hair, my fingers would feel tacky, and I didn't care for that. So then about a month and a half ago, I was at Walgreens. I was actually looking for something else, and then I ran across this. This is Psst, the true original, all caps in bold. I don't know how correct that is. It's made by Freeman Beauty. They do make other products that I have used in the past. Can't tell you what any of them are right at the moment, but I know that I have used them over the years. Not tested on animals. Fabulous. Made in the USA. Also good. And it's I got the tropical scent. They had another scent. I can't remember what it was. It was either unscented or like maybe powder fresh or something. Now they may make more sense than that. It may make more sense than that. But at that particular store that I was in, they only had the 2. And at the time, I've already peeled everything off, but it had a $1 off coupon, so I got this 5.3 ounce bottle for less than $3. And if you can hear, there's still a good bit in there. It's, if I had to quantify it, maybe that much is left. And like I said, I've had it well over a month. I don't use it every day, but I use it a few times a week. So it's okay. And the scent only gets to me if I overspray it, because sometimes I spray just like the top layer of my head, depending on how long it's been since I've washed. But when I'm like sectioning and doing everything like you're supposed to, you're supposed to section your hair, spray it at the roots. When I do it that way, I do spray more, and the cloud tends to get to me, but other than that, it's fine. For hormonal aging, fat people with depression, my picks, the Odorono roll-on deodorant, and the Suave 24 hour comes in a close second. If they could take care of the wetness of it. That would be my go-to. And then the dry shampoo. So far out of all of the ones that I've tried, and there may be some that are better. I've seen dry shampoo going for like $22 a can, and I'm going, what? No! Why would you do that? Now granted, there are people who have much more money than I do, and they're okay with that, and just like I don't understand people who buy $100 foundation either, but I understand that there are lots of them that do. Me, I don't know that I could do that, but to each their own. I'm a cheapskate. You can afford it. If you want to spend it, great. If you know of any other products and you fall into the category of aging, hormonal, busy, depressed, any and all of the above, whatever, share down in the comments. I will see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great week. Be blessed. Take care. Bye.